The failure of Nigeria is the end result of our collective actions, inactions, series of events that most often is limited to our government, but in reality includes all of us, the Nigerian in the mirror. In other climes, when technology is deployed, manual processes are limited and fraud or manipulation in the system is minimized or eradicated completely. But in Nigeria, when technology is deployed in government, the officials and applicants alike find a way to bypass and manipulate the process. Hence, it even looks more manual, cumbersome, and unable to deliver the desired results. And then the same officials will turn around tomorrow and blame the government. We installed flow meters in our oil installation platform to check fraud and stealing. Yet, illegal pipelines are still connected to the same platforms by Nigerians, and the crude is stolen by them with nobody caught or brought to book. And NNPC go open mouth tell you say it's been going on for 30 years. I fear who no fear us. You pay much more than the prevailing pump price per liter for fuel. Yet, the pump meter is adjusted to under dispense. And the owner, who is a Nigerian in the mirror, still they go church and mosque and they praise God. We collected biometrics data for national identification card registration. Yet, we don't have the census figure or numbers of our demography. And people are disappearing and missing without traces of their personal information from any node platform. And soon, we will spend billions to conduct a census and we'll shut down the country for 2 weeks. What a country. I beg, who is responsible, if not in Nigeria in the mirror? Again, we collected biometric data for international passports. Yet foreigners come in through our land borders unchecked, unchallenged, and unprofiled. And our officials at the international airport will rather harass you for tips or God, what you bring come for us. A giant on our knees. Go to our international airport, no Wi-Fi. I weep for this country. We collected data again for banks, BVN. Yet, people still get scammed and money transfer from people's account without traces. The bank will tell you compromise your PIN. There's nothing we can do. But the money enters somebody's account. And police will request for money to sign petition, to mobilize, to arrest. And even when you go to court, the matter is adjourned endlessly. And the thief go down japa with your money. And people will tell you it is well. Are these people, all of them, all of us, not Nigerian in the mirror? Imagine currency where others redesign seamlessly. And we know hear story. The moment it reached our turn, we started playing ping pong with it between CBN and commercial bank. CBN mopped up 2 trillion naira of old currency and only released 3 billion of new currency. While CBN hoarded 1.7 trillion, the bank collectively hoarded 1 billion. From the 3 billion released, 300 billion released to them. And POS operators cashed in to make a kill from the quagmire. And at the end of the day, we all dance to church and mosques for Thanksgiving and tithe. And yet, the politicians are trading blame, while the ordinary people they swore to protect are suffering and gnashing their teeth with no end in sight. And even the suffering now has been elevated to NYSC. Now your suffering continues. And yet we are looking for who is responsible. We all are responsible. I say you, the man in the mirror. Check yourself. We also collected biometric data for voters registration and deployed beavers to check election manipulation. But at the end of the day, we end up producing results that are questionable by election tribunal. No be me talk, I ask or shoot tribunal. We all preach and desire transparency. But when saddled with the responsibility, we bend, bypass, or manipulate the process for personal gain. If I lie, ask former critic who joined government. And the moment they are appointed, the rest of us will troop in. Congratulations, and then begin to tell them it's our turn to chop. And only to us to turn around tomorrow and blame them. As we prepare for the general election, with high hopes and expectations, based on the promises made to us by INEC, what is the guarantee that the result will not be manipulated by the man, the Nigerian in the mirror, to frustrate the will of the people? After all, we all saw the consequences of INEC's storage server producing different conflicting results in Osun. But must the result of our election be questioned at the tribunal? How much time does the tribunal have to manually inspect or the beavers in a presidential election, just like they did in Osun? What is the guarantee that the INEC man in the mirror will not capitulate like they did in 2019 when they told us pre-election that they had server, only for them to turn around that there was no server? When did they purchase this current server? And how long does it take INEC to synchronize information from the beavers to the server? How trustworthy are the reports against the conflicting reports from the same server in respect of Osun? You will say so many questions, few answers, and none in some cases. Anyway, we're in Nigeria where we will always wait for court or Supreme Court to determine our election result after voting. Time will tell. I will therefore advocate, until we, the leaders and followers alike, are sincere to ourselves as a people and truly make concerted effort to ensure the workability of our institution, whether manual or digital. If you like, deploy the best technology in the world here in Nigeria. Even if the leadership is sincere and genuine, if we, the followers, are not ready, we will still end up with a manipulated and bypassed beautiful piece of technology for personal gain, only to turn around later and point accusing fingers. Remember, no one man can change Nigeria if majority of Nigerians, who are the man in the mirror standing right before me now, have reasons to cheat and bypass the process always. And Obi, Atiku, or Tinubu alone cannot change Nigeria if the Nigerian in the mirror is not ready for that change. But however, leadership must start from the top. That's all we can take for this week. But however, for previous episodes, simply follow us on all our social media platforms shown on your screen. But I leave you with this. Since nobody, they destroy Nigeria like Nigerians. Nobody, I say nobody can repair Nigeria but Nigerians. So if you want it to work, roll up your sleeves and make it work. And don't just shout or be articulated or batified. See you next week.